Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And let's get this thing leveled up nicely. Boom, boom, boom. And we are live. Okay, so let's get this thing leveled up nice. Okay, so it's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, and it is Boxing Talk with Rafi. And I got a nice, interesting menu for you today. We're looking at, well, where are we? Let me get into the details, the statistics. Okay, so we're looking at Anthony Joshua. His words are that Deontay Wilder admitted he ducked me. Okay, we're going to get into that a little bit later. And of course, we're looking at the Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce fight coming this weekend. It just feels like we just left out another weekend, which we have. And of course, we're looking at this weekend's fights just gone. The likes of Conor McGregor, Conor Ben, Formella, and et al. Okay, so let's have a look what's going on here. Okay, people filing in. So how do we start this? I think we're gonna start with a warm-in video. Well, first things first, let me do the sound check. Bella and et al. Okay, so the sound check is good. And of course, sharing is caring. So we gotta make sure we share this. Gotta share this out to the people, the secret society. Get people in here who want to chop it up. So let's copy this. Let's paste that. And get to sharing. All right, copy and share. All right, let's have a look at what's going on. Let's share it there. Where else? Boom. Uh-oh. Nobody's in this group. What's going on? Let's go over. Yeah, okay. Boom. Let's share it there. And of course, let's share it in my little neck of the woods. Boom. Okay, so the thing has been shared. Let's get back into this. Okay, so let's select the warm-in video. Where we at? As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's get that up too. Boom. Save that. Share that. Okay. Warm-in video. So let's select that. And let's drop that. What's going on? No, we've got to keep that up. Okay. Okay. Yes. I remember how we're going to start this thing. Where is it? It's hiding. Boom. Okay. And let's drop the music. Boom. And how's it looking? Over there? Uh-oh. Not even sharing yet. Stop sharing that. And start sharing this. Boom. Let's get it resized. Okay. How's it looking now? Yes. Okay. So this is the warm-in video. Enjoy, and then we get straight into it after. Yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And today, we're look at the prospect of Bud Crawford making his way to the UFC. Okay, so earlier in the week, Dana White had some things to say about Bob Arum's handling, promoting, talking about, chatting about Bud Crawford. Ain't making him no money. He's losing money on Bud. And perhaps this is why Bud is on Dana White's radar. OMG. Rear naked choke. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's at round 2. This is round 2.
Anyway, what's going on here? Damn, armbar, fully extended, Jamel Herring taps.
Get ready for UFC, man. Y'all better stop playing. He getting ready for that Conor McGregor money.
Okay, so let's speak of the devil. Let's hear from Dana White himself.
I didn't see how that whole thing played out, but I heard Bob Arum, some little bitch crying about it. Him.
Uh-oh.
I had to throw that in there. I hate that guy.
OMG.
Did you see actually he started, not to bitch up Bob Arum, but he said that I've lost so much money on Terence Crawford, I could build a house in Beverly Hills or something.
You imagine if I said that? Are you even kidding me? You guys would murder me if I said that. I'd never hear the end of that. That's what you do. That's not his problem. That's your problem. His problem isn't to figure out how you make money. You can sign a deal with this kid. Your job is to promote him. Your job is, you made a deal. All these kids that I signed, you know, and if you look right now at all the kids that we signed and how many people we have on our roster is very inflated right now. We have a very, very big roster, the biggest roster we've ever had in the history of the company. I have to pay all these kids. How I pay them is not their problem. It's my problem. And this guy wants to go. Imagine me saying, "Oh, I gotta pay Conor McGregor fucking this much money. I could have built a house in Beverly Hills." Shut the fuck up, you scumbag. Pay your fighter what you owe him. That's your job. And Bob Arum is a piece of shit. Good night, everybody.
Damn it. Swore up the whole damn show. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. Bud Crawford showing off his grappling skills. Would he be the most successful boxer in the UFC? Normally boxers go to the UFC. I mean, actually fighting in the UFC, not just fighting a UFC fighter. Normally boxers go over there and then they get taken down, tapped out in no time. But Bud Crawford be the first boxer who went over to the UFC for a fight and had with wrestling acumen. Very interesting indeed. So there you have Dana White telling Bob Arum, learn how to promote your fighter. Yeah, a lot of people put it on Bud. It's Bud's fault. He's not more popular. Well, partially that's true. But also, you have to look at what kind of promotional push he's receiving. Both guys taking a little chill now after the grappling. Yeah, so you have to question Bob too. It's not just on the fighter. So what do you think about Bob Arum's or Dana White's words to Bob about Bud? Mr. Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's to leave your comments below and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button. Is there a comment button? However, it's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, and I'm out. Okay. Let's get the music started again. Okay. Let's get into the chat. See what people are saying before we get into this thing properly. Okay, let's go. Where are we? Welcome to DIY Nightmares with Rafi Llewellyn Bowen. OMG. Has Rafi still got fingers left after buying the jigsaw? I'll tell you what, I bought that. Hold on, let me get this muffler. My muffler's playing me up. You know, I didn't buy the circular saw thing because I was worried about my fingers. I felt my fingers might be in grave danger. So I take it nice and easy. I just bought the safer one, the jigsaw one. I haven't actually used it yet. Okay, still reading the instructions. I want to make sure that I'm totally familiar with every aspect of the thing. Flex Gym could do with some DIY. No plasterboard for a ceiling. Deary me. That's the James Jameson. 12,000 years ago, the Sumerians invented everything, including the calendar and even time itself. Lucky Rafi wasn't about that. Have been about half an hour out. You're right. It was about half an hour out. Okay, hang tight. Warp drive activated. Okay, so indeed, it is the Combat Radio. Is it an open mic for legends? Yes, open mic has got legend written on it. Yes, and welcome in Dixon Vinegars. As a matter of fact, let's listen to what this guy's got to say. Let's hear who he is. Hello, how are you? Who are you?
Hello there. Let's get live. Yes.
Dixon Vinegars. What? Carry on.
This is Dixon of Dot Green coming live from Spain. Phil Dixon from Spain.
Phil Dixon Vinegars from Spain. How you doing, Dixon? How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm just trying to make sure that the vinegar that I've bought today has a certain balsamic quality to it, to be honest.
Okay, Dixon. Okay, that's a good thing. Hang tight, Dixon. Hang tight. Stay there.
Sir.
We'll come in with you in a second. Okay, we just mute that mic. Okay, so we got Dixon Vinegars, a.k.a. Phil from Spain, in the building. Okay, let's have a look. What's going on? Nanu up in the building. Okay, so let's have a look. Who's this?
Why are you fucking pretending to be Dixon, mate?
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, we got two Dixons. We can't have two Dixons up in here. We got to keep one Dixon, let the other Dixon go. We got to let you go. We got to let the other Dixon go. Okay, so we just need one Dixon. We can't have two Dixons. Okay, the pigeon is up in here. Pigeon Toes is up in here. AD is up in here. How you doing, AD? Teddy Hearts says, how do you do? The promoter moaning that the fighter not promoting himself. It's your job, Bob. You rock it. It's the Iron Kong up in the building. And let's make sure everybody has an invite. It's an open party. Boom. OMG. Looky here. We got the Don ZB up in the building. OMG. Okay, so where are we going to start this? The other Dixon was the real. There's too many Dixons. Who is, why is this? Why I can't unmute this thing? Who is the real Dixon Vinegars? Who is the real Dixon Vinegars? It's kind of hard to tell. What's going on here? Hello.
Stop lying to the fans, ref.
Will the real Dixon please stand up.
Will the real
Stop lying to the fans, yeah.
Come
Just
on, bro. Come on.
Will the real Dixon Vinegars please stand up? I'm confused. There's too many Dixons. There's too many Dixons up in the dark green. Okay, the bronze plumber is up in the building, and the squeaky chair is in effect. Okay, where am I going to start with this? Let both Dixons debate. Nah, that could be crazy. What's going on here? This is mad. Okay, so let's have some order up in the building. I really don't know where I was going to start. Well, I do know where I'm going to start.
Let's have some parliamentary
procedure. Indeed. Okay, so let's get into this shiznix now. Okay, Dixon. No, let's call you Phil. From Spain. Is that the Spanish?
Sir.
That's not the Spanish flag, Phil. That's not the Spanish flag.
That's not the Spanish flag. That's a bit of an Irish flag on there. And the last time I went to Spain, I was deported in 1962 for drugs.
Okay. Let's keep it PG. Let's keep it PG. Dr. Woodok up in the building. Okay, so first of all, good to have you. Okay, so let's talk about the Bob Arum situation. Bob Arum and Terence Crawford. That's the first thing we're starting with. What's your take on that? It seems out of order.
I've been seeing a lot of Bob Arum lately. I've been impressed with this guy. This G, he's still knocking around. He's 88 years old. He's still cracking around. I've got enough respect for Bob Arum, He was saying a lot of things about Maloney in that fight, and he was supporting that, even though the WBC were being ratty about it. I got enough respect for Arum. A lot of people hate him, but if he's talking about a Crawford fight with the UFC, man, fair play, bro. I'm all for that.
Okay, so I think the problem with Arum right about now, there's a problem with Arum and Terence Crawford, it seems. Arum saying that Crawford, it cost him money to have Crawford around. It cost him money. He's saying
he might be getting a bit. He might be getting a bit racial. The thing with the United States and England, he might be getting a bit racial about things. Top rank. Yeah.
How is he getting racial?
Do you want me to take this to a different level?
I want to keep it PG. You can say what you want to say. You can do it,
man. This might go Pacific Rim, bro. You
can say what you want to say in a polite and friendly manner. So go ahead.
Everybody makes their sort of money from a different political angle. All these fucking motherfuckers in life, bro. So, like, Arum.
Okay, so I told Phil from Spain to keep it PG friendly, and he just reeled off a bunch of expletives. Okay, catch you later, Phil. Can't have that, mate. Can't have that. I've had enough problems over here on the channel, and it looks like, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, let me just check something. Right about now, because it looks, I don't want to speak too soon, but let me check something. It will be very telling. Limited. Okay, I'm not out of the woods yet. I thought I was out of the woods. Yeah, Phil from Spain. I can't have you today, my friend. Can't have the expletives, my friend. Can't have the expletives. Okay. Thank you. Right, so that was a quick one. Okay, so so Bob Arum is talking about he ain't made no money, can't make no money with Terence Crawford, but how much money is he making with Lomachenko? What was his name? Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn just came out the other day, a couple of days ago, and said that he lost money. He lost money when he put on the Lomachenko Campbell fight on. So I find it hard to believe that that Arum has never made any money with Crawford. I find that very, very difficult to believe. Otherwise, why would he have given him a 4 million minimum? Why would he have given him a 4 million minimum if he wasn't worth it? Yeah, he didn't have to. He chose to give Terence Crawford a 4 million minimum. So that being said, it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit funny. And Bob Arum has just recently, I think was it today or yesterday, just recently come out and said that where is this? That's there. Let's get this up. Let's see how that's looking. No, don't want it like that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's make it even better still. Okay. What's this? Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so yeah, just recently come out and said, yeah, he's not interested in promoting Terence Spence. Not interested in doing it. So the question is, where does Terence Spence go from here? He's still got another year on his contract. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let me see if I've got the article up in front of me. Where is it? That ain't it. Let me just scroll through these things right here. Okay. Un momento. Let's have a looky. Let me see if I can bring up that specific article. So I don't want to misquote. Oh, boom. Well, there he is. Straight away. Okay, let's bring it up on the screen. Stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's resize that. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Let's get it bigger so everybody, all and sundry, can say. Okay, so Arum stands by Crawford comments. The article reads. Okay, so top rank chairman Bob Arum has taken heat for the comments he recently made about losing money on welterweight world titleist Terence Crawford's fights, and how Crawford, in his view, needs to do a better job bringing attention to himself. But Arum said he doesn't care about the criticism and stands by his comments. I don't give a ish, Arum told Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio earlier on today. I don't care, because what the Crawford camp did was reprehensible. The lawyer sent a letter to us. Okay, that's fine. That's what lawyers do. But you don't release it to the press. All of this should have been behind closed doors, like what men do. I'm not going to take this ish. I'm just not going to do it, because the truth is I've lost money with this guy. Arum said he's upset because he believes that Brian McIntyre, Crawford's manager and trainer, leaked details of Crawford's contract, including that his agreement with Top Rank expires in October 21st, and that Arum had promised to pay Crawford $1 million if he didn't make an offer in 2020 to unified welterweight titleist Errol Spence to fight Crawford in advance of Crawford's fourth round. What is this? Hold on a second. Let me just check this. You received a payment from. You can now. Okay. You can see the transaction. Oh, this isn't showing up on the screen. Whether your payment can still be reversed. What is this all about? What's this money? Who's sending me money? What is this? Oh, okay. I get it. I get what's going on. Okay. That's a different thing. Okay. So where are we? Yeah. So What is that? Effectively, they're saying that Arum promised to pay Crawford $1 million if he didn't make an offer in 2020 to the unified welterweight titleist Errol Spence Jr. to fight Crawford in advance of Crawford's 4th round knockout of Kell Brook. Okay, so Arum said it angered him so much he isn't even interested in promoting future fights involving Crawford, one of boxing's elite pound-for-pound fighters. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me check out what's got. Hold on, what's this? What's this? Okay, I just seen some private messages. Okay, that's funny. Okay, no problem, Phil from Spain. No problem. I know when you got the drink in your veins, you know, your tongue gets loose and you know, yeah, it's one of them. Bob isn't doing his job. Is Dixon pigeon? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's like I don't know. It's like one of those Arnold Schwarzenegger films when you know, you got to figure out who the real one is. Okay. Hello.
This is North Africa boxing.
Okay.
Live and direct.
Phil from Spain is back. Any more foul language, Phil, and I'm gonna have to let you go.
Okie doke. I'm sorry about that, sir. Can you give me an uplink on in terms of what you want to discuss? Do you want to discuss Crawford?
No, you know, hold on. I'm reading it now. Just mute yourself, my friend, and you'll get the gist. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
No problem. Just mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, so we're in it now. Just coming to the end of this article. Well, hold on. I'm not going through all the way through this damn thing. I think we've already got the gist. I'm just going to pick out a couple of pointers. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm just going to pick out a couple of pointers. Where are we? You put 10 million in, and even the pay-per-view does 400,000 buys. You still have enough to pay the fighters, but you can't replace the 10 million. Arum said. He's talking about 10 million. What is he talking about? If the fight was made and there could be normal attendance, okay, he's talking about Terence Crawford versus Spence, and there could be normal attendance at the MGM Grand, for example. Arum estimated that the gate would be around 7 million, with a close circuit revenue adding another 3 million, 3 to 4 million to the pot. So that's 7 million plus 3 to 4, that's 10 to 11 million. He's basically saying that Arum said that Heyman is well aware that when Top Rank and PBC put on heavyweight title rematch between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in February, a joint pay-per-view between Top Rank and partner ESPN and PBC's partner Fox, that nearly 1/3 of all domestic buys for the event came via the ESPN streaming service. Okay, it's talking about money. Let's have another look. Let's have another looky. Trying to get to the pertinent points. Okay, at issue, Arum said was that after Top Rank and Crawford agreed to terms on the Brook fight, Crawford had the contract for 2 weeks, but declined to sign the paperwork. Arum wanted it signed so he could launch the promotion in a major way during the Vasil Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez ESPN telecast on October the 17th, which averaged a very strong 1.5 million viewers. Okay, Crawford wound up signing the paperwork during the telecast, leading to only a brief mention of the upcoming fight. We kept telling him to sign the effing contract because we knew that was about to start promoting it. Not have a signed contract and start renegotiating. The 88-year-old Arum said, "I want a signed contract." They had it for 2 weeks. If it was up to me, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle another Crawford fight. I'm too old to handle this. I've taken it off my agenda. Whatever Todd wants to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Phil from Spain. Yeah. Come on in. I know you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah. My personal take on this is it's so complicated. Like, I personally think, Crawford and that is such a good fighter. Look at what he dismantled, Brooke. That was a complete takedown. That was. I don't know if you're old enough. Like, I'm in my 50s now, and I used to watch films called Demolition Man with a guy called Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
And that was a Wesley Snipes takedown of fucking Brook. He got the fucking shit kicked out of him.
All right, you need to get out of here, Phil. You can't moderate your language. You need to get out of here. Go on out of here. Get on out of here. Okay, so I apologize for the colorful language, trying to keep it clean. So no more Phil. Okay, so basically there was dragging their feet. I can understand. Listen, I can understand Bob's position. He's trying to promote the damn thing, and Spence is acting like you don't understand about promotion. I heard Spence complaining about they didn't promote the damn fight. Well, if you didn't sign the damn contract, how the hell is he going to promote it? How the hell can he promote a fight that you haven't signed the contract for? So I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say over here in the UK, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I mean, I think Crawford needs to be more responsible. Needs to be more responsible in the way he needs to understand. Each party needs to understand the other person's job. The fighter needs to understand the promoter's job and what the promoter needs to promote, and the promoter needs to understand the boxer's position. You know what I'm saying? But I think if it is the case, and I'm pretty sure it is, that Crawford just didn't, you sat on the contract for 2 weeks. Well, how the hell do you expect the fight to be promoted if you don't sign the damn contract? I can understand Bob's frustration. And then people will say, what's the difference with Lomachenko? Well, I guess the difference with Lomachenko is that he signs the contract in good time. You got to sign the contract in good time. Ain't no pointers. A lot of people been telling Crawford to leave, and now we are at the end of the road. Coming to the end of the road, boys to men. Well, look what we got here. Yeah. Even money, this goes wrong. Yes. James Jameson saw it coming. Yeah. Okay. Where we at? Who is this Terence Spence dude? Bob sign. Okay. Right. So where are we? Crawford is guaranteed at least $3 million per fight. Yes, indeed. Sorry, bro. No problem. The drink has got to you. I understand that. Okay, so I think we've thoroughly New Jack City. Pigeon can't stop using that foul language. Yeah, okay. Pigeon can't help himself. Okay, so I think we've chopped up this Terence Spence thing. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You got to understand what the promoter needs to promote. You got to sign the damn contract in a timely manner. Get it back to him. On the other hand, I mean, I think Bob Arum needs to be a little bit more gracious. But listen, they're rattled. So the question is, what next? What next for Terence Crawford? I think that Terence Crawford is coming to the end of his career. What is he, 34 now? 34? Something like 34, yeah. He's coming to the end of his career. The little guys come to the end of the career sooner than the big guys. I think he might as well make that shift. make that move to the PBC or to the UFC for one novelty fight. He should have one novelty fight in the UFC, get some long money, and then head on over to the PBC so long as he can get it contractually agreed, get it in writing that he is fighting Spence next. Yeah. Have a little malarkey in the UFC, get some long money, get your name recognition up, and then get a contract, work on a contract with the PBC. It seems that you have and Arum, seems like your relationship has run its course. It's time to have one final drink. It's time to have one final drink. You know, have a sherry with the fella. You know, let him smoke his herb, let him smoke his high grade, and then shake hands, have a little hug, you know, and then walk off to the PBC. Let's go on over to the PBC, get a contract with the PBC for Errol Spence Jr. If he's still the same Errol Spence, and, you know, do your thing. But your time at Top Rank might be over. You know what I'm saying? Looks like you're both getting under each other's skin. And, yeah, what can one say? That is that. So that's the Errol Spence. That's the Terence Crawford and the Bob Arum story. Maybe they've been together too long. Something like the 7-year itch, whatever it is. Looks like Terence Crawford needs to look for pastures anew. Okay, so that's a wrap for that topic. And where are we going next? Where's my list? Okay, so next destination is this weekend's fights. As a matter of fact, let me cut the music and let me go 70s. Let me go 70s. Let me get in that orchestral R&B sound, that soul sound. Okay, we're going back into the 70s, a little bit less hectic than the previous one. Okay, mellowing down now. So I think at this juncture, we look at the weekend's fights over here in the UK. Okay, and with that, let me share my screen with you. Okay, let's stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so over the weekend, okay, hold on. Someone has just jumped in. Who is this? And it is the Iron Kong. Iron Kong up in the building. How are you today, Iron Kong?
Hey, what's going on, Rafi? Peace to you, brother.
Yeah, man. This is a real Iron Kong. I can tell it's cool in the gang. Peace to you. Good to have you up in here. So, what's your take on the Errol Spence? What's your take on the Bud Crawford and Bob Arum situation?
Well, I think, you see, Bob Arum, people have always accused him of favoring a certain type of fighter over another. I think he really put a lot of faith behind Lomachenko. And he gave Lomachenko more attention than Terence Crawford, which was strange because Lomachenko wasn't selling anything. But you have Terence Crawford, a guy who stops people, who's an exciting fighter. And both of them do just about, like, Lomachenko doesn't do anything for marketing himself. But for some reason, Bob Arum doesn't have this issue with Lomachenko, where, you know, Lomachenko doesn't market himself. Lomachenko doesn't even speak proper English. Like, you know, he don't even speak fluent English. Then, you know,
I don't think I've ever heard him speak.
Right, exactly. So, what really is Bob Arum's problem? The fact that this stuff got out into the public, or that Terence Crawford is costing him money? Because Lomachenko cost him money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So the issue for me is Bob Arum made some weird choices where he chose to put Terence Crawford on $70 pay-per-views. Why? Why are you forcing this guy onto pay-per-views when people hardly know him? Keep him on free TV, right?
Yeah.
If you chose to pay him $4 million, then you chose to do that. You know what I'm saying? You should have known how you're gonna offset that money or how you're gonna make back that money. And obviously you have no clue what you're doing with this guy.
Mhm.
Terence Crawford, like most of these fighters in America, should be fighting on free TV.
Yeah.
These $80 pay-per-views is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, you know, a lot of people, you know, people say like it's Bob Arum's job to promote the fighter. Look, in this day and age, there's multiple ways to get yourself known. People are attracted to personalities also.
Yeah.
You know, they come to your fight because they either dislike your personality or they like your personality, and they come to watch you.
Mhm.
You know, and it's also great that you knock people out.
Yeah. Of course. Sorry, Phil.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Phil. Can't have you on three times, Phil. Gave you 2 chances and you blew it, my friend. Come back another day. Yeah. No offense. Come back another day. Okay. I'm talking
Sorry.
to. Yeah.
Sorry, my kids. My kids barged in the room. So anyway.
No problem.
My bad.
Let's carry
So,
on. Yeah.
Terence Crawford, for instance, somebody like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is not really a flashy dude.
No.
But people are attracted to his regular, everyday personality. He's a chill guy, real cool. But Anthony Joshua has realized that if I start my own YouTube page and show when I go on vacation, show when I do the show, people will gravitate towards me because they see me as something else other than a guy who's just out, you know, in the ring knocking people out like this big robot. Nobody wants, even Mike Tyson in the non-social media days. People gravitated to his persona, this fearful persona, the street dude. There was no social media. So Terence Crawford also has to understand you can't just be a cardboard cutout. You don't have to act a certain way that you're not, but you do have to allow people to gravitate towards your personality because there's a lot going for Terence Crawford. He's a successful man, very competitive. You know, let people see you. Have a social media page. Let people follow you around for a day or two. You know what I'm saying? So he's not entirely absolved from blame for his situation. So, you know, but people like Errol Spence and them also. Errol Spence is also a very boring dude. He's not an exciting person. Like Errol Spence, if you listen to Errol Spence talk, you'll cut his speech off for like as soon as he starts talking. Very, very boring guy. But they got famous because they were infamous. He's a guy who was always in the club. They drink, they this and that. So people got to know Errol Spence for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But they got to know Errol Spence.
Yeah, because all publicity is good publicity, so they say.
There you go. So
they say. Yeah, I hear you. That's why I say it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Bob has got a bit of a reputation for favoring the European fighters who can barely speak English, and it's a tricky situation. It's a tricky situation. I agree with your point as well about the PPV. Why put him on PPV? It don't make no sense. Get him on free to air. Get the guy famous. And on the flip side, I agree again. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Each boxer has the responsibility to get some notoriety, to in some way or other. You ain't gotta do nothing crazy. You haven't got to break the law, but you have to have a personality. And when we saw that clip that I played at the beginning of the show, if you haven't checked it out, if people didn't see the beginning warming video, go check it out. It's a video I made, I think, about 3 days ago, and it's about, I think it was the one where Dana White was talking about Bob Arum. And his lack of responsibility. He's not holding up his end as a promoter. And we saw Terence Spence wrestling. We know his boys are wrestlers, do very well wrestling. And obviously, he's a wrestler himself. And what about Terence Crawford going over to the UFC for one fight? Iron Kong.
I'm sorry. Is that a real conversation? is that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, boxers go over to the UFC for one fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? Boxers go over to the UFC for one fight all the time. Why not Terence Crawford?
Sure, why not? Hey, I'm with all that. I'm with
Yeah.
all that. Why
That would
not?
get his
Go
name
over
out.
there.
That would get his name out. That would get his name out. That's what we're talking about.
Why not?
Get the name profile. Build his profile.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question though. If Terence Crawford in a year's time says, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm leaving, is Terence Crawford a large enough personality or entity in boxing that he can do, like, say, what Canelo is doing now, where he's his own satellite, like, he can fight wherever and be successful, or does he need a promoter? Sorry.
Well, he's not going to get a promoter over at PBC because the PBC don't seem to promote. They don't seem to.
No,
promote.
They don't.
The guy that could promote him perhaps would be maybe Eddie Hearn, but then Eddie Hearn doesn't get him any further because then it's Matchroom DAZN versus PBC again, and we end up with a Joshua Wilder situation. So that doesn't help him. I think that Terence Crawford, what does Gucci Kid say? Terence Crawford is actually likable. He's very likable out of the ring. He's got you see a little bit of personality, but he doesn't show it. He doesn't show it. He doesn't share. He doesn't share his likability. He's got a sense of humor. He's got a pleasant personality, but he doesn't share that. He doesn't understand. He's like a guy from of old. He thinks he just needs to rock up with his boots and his gloves and put on a good job, and that's enough. But it ain't enough in this age. Putting on good fights just ain't enough. Putting on good fights just ain't enough. He's not. His name is known in the UK, but his personality is not known. So you see, let's compare and contrast with a guy like David Allen. Dave Allen has just retired. He was getting big money from Matchroom. He was a mediocre fighter, but he's getting decent money. He's a comfortable man now. He's made his investments. He's bought some houses for rent, and he's got a nice little portfolio apparently. And that was all off personality. The cheeky chappy, what we call over in the UK, the cheeky chappy, the happy chappy, cheeky chappy, and it was personality based. We know about the cult of personality. In this day and age, if you want to stand out from the crowd, you have to have some type of personality. Look at Dillian White. A lot of people aren't pleased with his personality. I listened to an interview with one of his ex-trainers, the original trainers down there in South London, Brixton. And he says he's not really happy with the way Dillian portrays himself. We kind of taught him why we wanted him to conduct himself and portray himself. But I can't have kids listen to him when he's talking. But yet still, even though his personality rubs a lot of people the wrong way, the things he comes out with, he still has a defined personality. And I think that's where Terence Crawford has let himself down.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm hearing you. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Terence Crawford, in a way, as I said, as you said, it's not like old days. Hell, even in the old days, you had fighters who understood that they had to market themselves in a way, right? He's now in an age where you can do the bare minimum to market yourself. You don't have to do a lot, but you can do something. You know who else is like that? Demetrius Andre. A guy who doesn't do anything for himself.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? You can't say, well, you're my promoter, so promote, but you have to give me something to work with, sir. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you have to give them a platform. Like a promoter can't just promote a cardboard box.
Yeah.
How does promote a cardboard box?
Totally.
Okay?
Totally.
Terence Crawford is for a lot of people #1 pound for pound.
Yeah.
And he has the platform of ESPN. But let me ask you something. ESPN, do you see Terence Crawford doing anything on ESPN? Even the PBC guys, you see them sometimes at college basketball, college football games. You see them sprinkled in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Terence Crawford doing none of that. So when Bob Arum always boasts about he has this big bullhorn called ESPN that can reach all these millions of people. right? And no one else has that. But Bob Arum doesn't do anything innovative, right? With that big blowhand, doesn't do anything innovative. You don't put your fighters in different places so people can just see them and say, oh, who's that guy, Terence Crawford? Why is a boxer talking about basketball? Why wouldn't you put Terence Crawford on one of them ESPN panel like morning shows where they're talking about sports? Because he watches a lot of sports.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Golden Boy, maybe. Golden Boy have never really seemed good at all, committed to promoting anyone other than their Spanish fighters. Yeah. Spanish guys, Latino market they cater for. She's Biz up in the building. Gucci Kid, Philip Khan Roberts, the Gucci Kid, the Don ZB up in the building. Yep, Iron Kong. Yeah.
In terms of Eddie Hearn, right? What I will say about Matchroom. Matchroom has probably, in my opinion, the best media team. Like what they do with their YouTube page, the Instagram page, the things they do in terms of following the fighter around. They almost have built a whole in-house production team, right? And they can do things for fighters, right? Somebody like Terence Crawford will fit in there, but again, PBC might you sign at Matchroom, you have to come to us, which is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So because Eddie Hearn does not, in my opinion, he doesn't stand in the way of fights. He even told Charlo, look, I will send Demetrius Andrade over to Showtime to fight you. He's offered to send fighters to Showtime or Fox to fight them.
Yeah.
Right? And for the people saying Terence Crawford should sign with PBC if he wants those fights, there's no guarantee he's going to get that fight over at PBC. There's no guarantee. PBC is loyal to Errol Spence.
Yeah.
They built Errol Spence. They didn't build Terence Crawford. They're not going to just let Terence Crawford come over there and just wash up Spence. A man who they spent years building.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very true indeed. Dr. Wudak says, do you think the Black American fighters have to bear the burden of being entertaining rather than allowing their skills to talk? Well, I've heard that argument, and we're not talking about. I don't know if we're talking about being entertaining. I think we're just talking about. Just having just showing a little bit of yourself, just sharing a little bit of yourself, like I outlined before. Dillian White shares himself. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but still, at least you know what you're dealing with. You know that there's a particular personality there. And Terence Crawford does himself no favors by not sharing a little bit of himself. He wouldn't even have to go out of his way. Just some Instagram post of him canoeing or wrestling or whatever he does, playing soccer or whatever he does. In the gym, I hear he's very good with the weights. He's stronger than he looks. Just having some kind of personality, like Iron Kong said, the matchroom outfit. They let their fighters show personality. They encourage them to show personality because that's what the public engage with, and that's what the public want to see. They want to see something. Why can't skills do the talking? Well, skills can do the talking but only to a certain extent. People want to see some kind of personality, and not necessarily. Don't even have to be a pleasing personality, but you got to show them something. I like white. James Jameson says I like white. Yeah, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't. But at least he has a personality out there. Mighty Mo is up in the building. Don ZB says Bob Arum wants Bud to be brash, but when Floyd and AB did it, they were ghetto. Well, I don't know if you want him to be brash. You just want him to show some personality. Andre Ward was similar, but at least he tried. Bud don't. I can't knock him. I think it's a real personal thing for him to do what he does, because some people believe social media is not good. Well, yeah, that's up to him, but that's gonna have some consequences. There's some consequences to that approach. And so, like I said before, I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. And with that, I think we wrap up the Bud Crawford, Bob Arum situation saga. I think that well, he can stay there and keep on getting his 4 mil. He probably will. I think he probably will stay there and keep on getting his 4 mil guarantee. He shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to. He just needs a top name on his resume. Yes, he does. He's being unified. It's the lower weight, and now he's holding the belt at this welterweight. Junior was unified, a junior welterweight, should I say? Yeah, but he can just stay there. He can just stay there at top rank, should he so wish. Andre Ward didn't try. The LDBC supported Ward. That was before it was the LDBC, though. Okay. So yeah, I think we've wrapped up the Terence Crawford situation, the Bob Arum Terence Crawford situation. Yeah, 6-1 and half a dozen of the other. Okay, so let us move on. What's on my list? What's on my list? Oh, okay. We're going to talk briefly about some of the weekend fights that have just happened. I'm trying to understand it, but I don't. But he must have a reason worth more than Monet. Oh, yeah. I guess he must have a reason. Was Andre Ward was unfairly tarnished with the boring tag, in part because he didn't play to stereotypes. I don't know if you have to play to stereotypes. You just have to let your personality be known and not be a cardboard guy, not be a stiff cardboard guy. Shahid Soleil is up in the building. Combat Radio. What do you think about AJ versus Kubrat Pulev? Well, we're going to come to that shortly. But first things first, I'm going to have to touch on some of the weekend's fights that have just happened. Let me find the window. Where aren't we? Hold on. Let me do something slightly different. Let me take a different approach.
Hey, Raf, I'm gonna be right back. I'm mute, all right?
Yeah, man, that's cool. Let me look at this list here. Oh no, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Where is it? I got too many windows open. But let me scroll through and I'll find what I'm looking for. There it is. Oh yeah, there it is. It was there all the time. Okay, so let's stop sharing it and then bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, so it should be up on the screen right now. Yes. Let me just make some little minor adjustments to this, tidy it up a little bit. Okay, that looks better, I think. Or not. Let's have a look. Okay, we can deal with this. Okay, so firstly, let's look at Conor Ben versus Formella, Sebastian Formella. Okay, I was impressed with Ben. He seemed like a bit of a crash bang wallop type of guy at times, and I thought, well, that ain't gonna get you far. That ain't gonna get you very far. But he showed a different side to him. He showed a guy who is learning his craft. He's learning the craft. He's learning some silky movements, some silky techniques, some slippery techniques. Seems like he's been doing drills and drilling hard. And it was a markedly improved Conor Ben that fought Sebastian Formella. Let me just make sure I'm pronouncing his name right. Sebastian Formella of Germany, of the Deutschland.
I'm back.
Yeah, man. So did you see the Conor Ben fight versus Formella? Did you catch that?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
It was I was surprised with Conor Ben, to be honest. I was surprised. The guy looked really good. He looked really good, like really schooled, I should say. Disciplined, and he just looked good. Nice counters, jabs. Jab was working. You know. Yeah. Formella has a chin. I don't know if Formella has a chin or Conor don't really have power yet. But
no, Conor's got power. Conor's got power. But Formella, the only person he lost to previous to Conor was Sean Porter. and he went 12 rounds with Sean Porter. And so this is a very good win for Conor. He's still got a lot to work on, but I'm impressed by the fact that he really seems to be applying himself to the craft of boxing. And it's also a very pleasing style to the eye. If I compare and contrast that with, who was the guy I was talking about the other day? He was a good boxer, but he just, Devin Haney. So if you compare Conor Benn with Devin Haney, compare and contrast, Devin Haney, is a world champion, so obviously he's a higher level, but one boxer is pleasurable to watch, and the other one, for me, not. Devin Haney's style to me is not a crowd-pleasing style. Iron Kong, what say you?
I think Devin Haney got a lot of harsh reviews after his last fight because his fights before that, he stopped the guys, right? Like he had a rough time with Alfredo Santiago, but Santiago was this long guy who was, really crafty, used his length a lot to keep him off, to give him some trouble. But before that, he also stopped Zara Abdullayev, knocked him out, and he stopped Santiago after a while, and he had a slightly cardboard cutout performance against Gamboa.
Yeah.
But I think I like watching Devin Haney fight. Conor and Conor also. So I don't really have the same issues as other people with Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney is coming on. Conor Ben, yeah, I'm with that. I'm anxious to see him fight again, and hopefully he can wrap up that dude Josh Kelly, who I think is absolutely terrible. But that's just me. I don't mind Devin Haney. I don't mind Devin Haney, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean Devin Haney, I wish him well and everything, but I fear that his style. Well, I'll tell you straight, his style doesn't please me. It don't please me. It does not please me. He's winning, and I understand what he's doing. He jumps in and lands a couple of hard shots, jumps back out. I want to know why this table seems to be flexing. It's like I hear something dropping on the table, like I got a poltergeist in the table. It's like something's going on with the table. It's like it's creaking. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so I hope, my wish is that Devin Haney would go over to Floyd Mayweather for a while. Just go over there and get a little bit more silky. You know what I mean? Get a little bit more silky. Get a little bit more smooth. Get a little bit more, a little bit more, what's the word? Electric. Get a little bit more electric. He's fast. He's strong. But those silky skills, I don't see them. And he's young now, so he should have those silky skills now. He should be silky now. That's my concern for Devin Haney going forward. Yeah, he's good. He's damn good. He's a world champion, but I think he just needs to get a bit more refined. But anyway, there's time. Let me get into the chat. I never watched the card, but I heard he called out Josh Kelly. Yeah, he wants Josh Kelly. I think he'll beat him too. Let me have a look. Do you recognize his technique and craft? Are you talking about Devin Haney? Yeah, listen, Devin Haney is very, very good. That's why he's a world champion. What I'm saying is that his style, not everybody's style is going to please everybody. And Devin Haney's style does not please me. It's kind of it's effective, but it ain't silky. So I can compare and contrast him with a guy like Conor Benn. Now, Devin Haney would beat Conor Benn. Yes, I'm not arguing that. But I would rather watch a Conor Benn or the Conor Benn that I saw last time out on Saturday night. A guy who is working on perfecting his craft. He's working on slipping punches, not necessarily jumping out and jumping in, but he's working in the pocket. He's turning his man. That's silky. Those are silky techniques. Those are silky techniques. Yeah, I'm not I'm comparing and contrasting the guys. I'm comparing and contrasting their styles. Yeah, so it's a compare and contrast thing. And yeah, that's my position. That's my position on Conor Benn. Okay, so let us move on. He wants Josh Kelly next. Yeah, let's have it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay, let us move on. Where are we? Who is next? Okay. So, what's this guy's name? Wardley. Yeah, Fabio Wardley versus Richard Latte. Okay, I don't know if oh, can I get this? Can I get this out of here? Can I click that? And oh no, don't work. Okay, so Fabio Wardley. I don't know what happened to Richard Latte, but Richard Latte came into the fight. He did a 3-minute ring walk. I don't have a problem with the guy dancing to his own music as he walks in, but he reminded me of what's that guy's name? Bruce Seldon, when he was walking to the ring when he was facing Mike Tyson. Bruce Seldon looked like he was going to a party. He was smiling and grinning from ear to ear, and little bit of footwork, little bit of dancing. And he went in there and got blitzed. Richard Latte, he just had this big smile on his face. I've never seen Richard Latte smile before. He looked different without the beard. He looked reminded me just like Bruce Seldon. Looked like he was walking to a party. He just basically what I'm saying is he just didn't seem focused on the fight. And then he got took out. He got rocked with a jab, and I think he got took out with a right hook. Didn't look the hardest right hook in the world, but I'm not going to dispute that it was a hard hit. But Richard Latte never seemed to be at the races. I don't know. He's come over 3 times now. Who was it? Daniel Dubois the first time. The second time was with Nathan Gorman. Went 10 rounds with him. And Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley took him out in the second round. Wardley looking good. Wardley's 25 years of age, but I don't know about Richard Latte. I don't know where Richard Latte's head was at. Did you see the fight, Iron Kong?
I did. At first I was like rooting for Latte to do great and do good, but then after I saw his ring walk, I just kept was like, I hope you get knocked out. Like this, look, you came to make a fool of yourself. You started buying into your little pseudo fame, and you made a complete fool of yourself. So yeah, I mean, the longer he took, the more I wanted him to lose and get physically disciplined. And he got physically disciplined. So.
I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't want to have to bring up witchcraft, but I don't know if the Juju man works some witchcraft on Richard Latte. I don't know if he owes one of his neighbors some money, but I don't know. The Juju man seemed to. I don't know. It didn't look like the Richard Latte we have come to know. It didn't look serious. Just looked like he came to have some fun. He's had about 3. This is his 3rd paycheck now. And I imagine he's getting some nice matchroom. Paychecks. And I don't know if it got to his head, like you say. I don't know if he bought into his own hype. I don't know if he was drinking his own Kool-Aid. But that did not seem like a man who was come down to bite down on his gum shield and put the work in. Didn't seem like it to me, Iron Kong.
Yeah, it didn't seem so for real. It's not much for me to say about this fight. It's just Fabio Wardley looked good, but I was glad Richard Latte got handled. It's not a game, man. I mean, we only have so much TV time. We can't eat up all that with you dancing, sir. Go down, get that work, and collect your paycheck, and go back home.
Exactly, and treat it seriously. I don't know what the hell was going on in his mind. I hope there was no Jojo man interference, but it looked weird to me. Okay, so that was Latte. What's going on here? Haney has room to do. Yeah, I'm not listening. I'm not hating on Haney. I'm not hating on Haney. I don't want anybody to think I'm hating on Haney. I'm just giving my opinion on what I feel about Haney. He ain't scintillating. That's the word I was looking for. He ain't scintillating.
Right.
He ain't no Sugar
Right.
Ray Robinson. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no Sugar Ray Leonard. But you should aspire. You should aspire to me. You should aspire to be a Sugar Ray Leonard. You should aspire to be a Sugar Ray Robinson, because them guys, those guys' names, those guys have etched their names in history. You got to look at crowd friendly styles, and it's not just a crowd. I want to see scintillating work. I want to see some nice fades. I want to see some slips. I want to see you get in the clinch, and I want to see you work in the clinch. I want to see you turn your man and pop him on the way out. You know what I'm saying? A little bit like Usyk's doing it at the heavyweight, but with more pop. You know what I'm saying? A little bit less dancing and more pop. That's what I want to see. Dodgy Lati KO. He's saying, yeah, it was dodgy. I thought it was dodgy. Was it a protest about not being paid properly in previous fights? I think he has been paid properly. Lati reminded me of Malik Scott against Wild. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought it was a bit sus. Rafi has a Steve Bunce voodoo doll. No. I wouldn't wish. I don't wish ill on people. Although I have found a troll, I have identified a troll. I think he's been trolling for a while now. I went over on Iron Kong's channel a while back, maybe a month ago, and he said Rafi's got a lot of trolls. Well, I don't think it's a lot of trolls. I think it's a couple of trolls, and I think I found out one of the people behind the trolling. I've got evidence. We're not going to go into that today because it's an action-packed show, but I will save the evidence and I'll bring it up another day. Probably, maybe after Rick on Wednesday, we'll bring that up. But it's, I'll put it up on the screen, and it's interesting because, I've got the name. And we got the evidence. So that's going to be exposed this week, not tonight though. Okay. So, that Usyk punch on Dave Allen was sweet. Okay, if anybody hasn't seen the sparring footage of that made Dave Allen quit the sport against Usyk, then go check my video. I think I did that yesterday. Yeah, go into my videos. I got a lot of good videos out over the last few days. So go and check it out. Dave Purnell Allen. Yeah, he was trying to be Sweet Pea. Well, it didn't work out for him. What's going on here? Raphael, do you think between Dubois, who do you think will win between Dubois and Joyce? Can you let me know? Are we going to be talking about that in any second now? Dave Whittaker Allen. Yeah, it's crazy. So go check that video out. Not now, but after the show. Okay, so we move on from that. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that shortly. Michael Davis. Good to have you up in here. Okay, so Babik versus what's this cat's name? Little. Babik versus Little. What was this now? What was this? Dropped Little twice in the third to get the stoppage. The judge officially stopped the contest at 2 minutes 38 of the third round. Although Babik won the fight, he looked tired at times, and it was incredibly easy to hit. The way that Babik fought, he'll be in trouble when he steps up against a world-class fighter in the future. Yeah, so Babik, the battle of the beards, Little trimmed down, but I think Little's in sparring partner mode. He's been a sparring partner for so many people. I think it's easy to slip into sparring partner mode, and Babik is just in a seek and destroy mode. And right about now, the level that he's fighting on is very entertaining, but I don't see him climbing too high. Although he's a Croatian, and I'd love to see him work his way up to a fight with Filip Hrgovic. I would really love to see that fight. Croatia versus Croatia. Iron Kong. Babik versus Little.
Yeah, man. In wrestling, like every show, well, they used to have these guys who the superstar would come out, and there's a superstar and there's a guy. So the superstar would be like Ultimate Warrior, and his contender would be a guy called Jake Scott, some regular Bob Smith, some
Yeah.
regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they call those guys jobbers. Those guys are put in there to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tom Little is. Tom Little is a jobber.
Yes.
You already know. Tom Little's in the ring. He's paid to fall down. Tom Little talks like he's another one. Like he's if Terence Crawford had Tom Little's personality, it would be a perfect match. Tom Little could sell you anything. This guy would make you believe I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win this fight, Eddie. You know what I'm saying?
Could sell
And then
sand
he
to
falls down.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Tom Little makes you believe in what he's going to do. But at the end of the day, you already know it's still Tom Little. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna lose. And Tom Little don't have no power in his hands. Yes, he lost weight, but he has like that old man lost weight body. Like he's skinny, but he has a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, skinny fat.
He's skinny fat, right? He didn't lose that weight by like weight training and whatnot. He just stopped eating bread and probably just lost the weight. So he's still chubby, but he's, he has small chest, big belly.
Yeah.
And Alan Babic is what he is, as you said. He's not going to rise too high in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? But the man is exciting. I'm not sure why people are so offended at the idea of Alan Babic. Why are you so offended at the idea of this man? You need people like Alan Babic. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
You need people like that, like B or C level heavyweights who are going to be exciting.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that was the role.
Don't be offended. Alan Babic is going to be who he is.
Yeah, carry on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, so I think that's one of the things that Dave Allen did. He came with a personality. He came with a personality, and I think that was the appeal.
Yeah.
As you were saying. Okay.
I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense to me why people are so offended at Alan Babic. That's all.
Yeah, I hear that. What we got here? Definitely Gucci Kid Allen will be back. He's too young to retire. He's not too young to retire. He's taking enough shots already. If you haven't seen my video on his sparring. Yeah, exactly. Retiring young's good. You can move on with the rest of your life and keep your brain cells intact. You know what I'm saying? So retiring young is good. Okay, so I think I've covered. Yeah, I think we've covered the weekend's fights over here, certainly over here in the UK. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Stop that. And now, what's next on my list? It's Dubois versus Joyce. So let me fix my screen up. Let me get this thing right. Where is it? Okay, I'm struggling to find what I'm looking for. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Boom. Is that up? Yeah, it's up. Okay. So, lost Iron Kong for a second. Let me put the link in the chat so it knows how to get back in. Boom. Okay. So what we hear? Yes, Iron Kong is back. Okay. So we're looking at Joyce versus Dubois. Joyce versus Dubois. Now, my issue, my problem is a lot of people think that Joe Joyce is slow. I admit he looks slow, but my point is, if Joe Joyce was so slow, how come he keeps hitting people in the face? Iron Kong.
I think he's slow as hell, but I think you're right there. He does keep hitting people
in the face.
But in the face. He lands his punches though. He lands them a lot.
Yeah. You know so if he's so slow, and I agree, he looks slow, but if he was so slow, how does he keep on punching people in the face?
I agree with that. It's just because he's slow and Dubois seems faster. Joe Joyce is there to be hit. Like he's not really that elusive. He's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The question is for me is how great is Joe Joyce's chin? Because he's gonna get touched by Dubois, right?
Mhm.
We all know Dubois' plan. He ain't no, as I said, he ain't no dude who's really slippery neither. He
Yeah.
did to be hit too, so he's gonna come forward
Mm.
and try and let go on Joe Joyce early. You saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had Daniel Dubois winning by knockout, but the closer the fight gets, I don't know. I don't know. Because
Well,
I rate Joe Joyce's skills. I rate them.
yeah. Yeah. I think people are going to be in for a big surprise. It's going to be a big wake up call for a lot of people when they see that the guy who's supposed to be slow is actually when the penny drops and people realize that Joe Joyce is very good at hitting people in the face. They're gonna be in for a surprise. I'm not saying Joe Joyce is a Sugar Ray Leonard, but he's not as slow as he looks, and that's the point. Joe Joyce punches everybody he fights in the face. He's not as slow as people think, and a lot of people are going to be surprised. Now, I hope Daniel Dubois wins because I think he could potentially be the future. So I hope he wins. But on the flip side, I'm pretty confident that Joe Joyce is going to surprise a lot of people, and they're going to say, well, how come he keeps hitting him in the face? It's because he's not, excuse me, it's because he's not as slow as he appears to be. Has Daniel Dubois got stamina? Well, he went 10 rounds with, what's that dude's name? Kevin, I forget his surname, the journeyman. He went 10 rounds with the journeyman, Kevin something, the guy who also fought Coley, the guy who beat Kevin Johnson. Did he beat Coley? I don't think he beat Coley. No, he didn't beat Coley. He lost to Coley, but Kevin Johnson's the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
Kevin Johnson didn't fight Coley. He fought Lawrence Coley?
Coley, yeah, he fought a Coley. Yeah, I think Coley lost to a Coley. He lost to a Coley. Yoka. No, he fought a Coley as well. Okay. Pretty confident. I hope I'm not getting the names mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it's a Coley, Lawrence. Hold on, who am I talking about? I'm talking about anyway.
Lawrence Coley is that what, cruiserweight or something?
Yeah, it's not a Coley. It's not a Coley. It's another African guy who lives in Scotland. It's an African guy who lives in Scotland. Has got an African name that escapes me right about now. It's not Lawrence Coley. Okay, so the bookmakers have Triple D is a big favorite. Joyce has slow hands but high work rate, so some of those punches land. Footwork is not too bad. Yeah, Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is a guy who took Dubois 10 rounds. Yes. So listen, I think Dubois could be the future, but this is not going to be Martin Bakole. Thank you, Dr. Wooda. Bakole, not a Coley, Bakole. Yeah, Martin Bakole. The African fella lives up in Scotland. Okay. So yeah, I think people are going to be surprised, my friend. People are going to be surprised with how competitive this fight is. And Joe Joyce ain't no punk. This is going to be a war. James Jameson says, early night, guys. Peace out to everyone. Great show, Rafi. Eventually. Yes. Much appreciation to the James Jameson. Okay, so yeah, I think it's going to be a competitive fight. And Kong, prepare to be surprised. Has there
been much of a build-up in this fight though? Like, because I haven't seen much on YouTube.
It's stop and start. It's stop and start. Because remember, this is the third or fourth attempt to get this fight off because of the COVID situation. So it's been stop and start. So no, the build-up has been long. But this last run up to it has not been a massive build up. Just this last leg. I mean, it's this week. It's this weekend coming. So it just seems to have appeared. But it's been stop and start. There's been about at least 3 dates which had to be cancelled. So it's been a stop and start thing. But yes, I think I'll definitely be looking forward to this fight over this coming weekend. And we will definitely be covering it over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. The guy you're talking about is Bakoli. Martin Bakoli from the Congo, formerly Zaire. Okay, excellent tight. What's this going on? He was ready to fight Lovejoy after that sweet Usyk shot. So between him and Eddie, it wasn't that his head. I don't understand that last bit. Okay, so yeah, that is Dubois versus Joyce. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be very, very tight, and I won't be shocked if Joyce wins. But I'll go with Dubois. But Joyce, I think Joyce is a lot better than people recognize or realize or are prepared to admit. And I think he's going to make a very good showing for himself. And one thing I can say, it is going to be an absolute war. I'll go with Dubois, but don't underestimate. I think Joyce is going to surprise a lot of people. And your pick on that one, Iron Kong. Okay. So, what's next on my list? Oh, okay. Let's get into it. We're going to the main story of the night. I think it is time. There is. Let's get this up and share. Let's get this up and share with you. Okay, let me share the screen. Boom. OMG. Are you ready? Are you ready for the crazy? Are you ready for the crazy? Okay, brace yourselves. And in comes. Well, I'll let him introduce himself. The Fight Doctor, introduce yourself. You're muted. Oh, maybe the Fight Doctor's not ready. Maybe he's not ready. Oh, he's ready now.
No, the Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. What's going on, gentlemen?
Fight Doctor is back up in here. How you doing, Fight Doctor? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just making it do what it do.
Okay. Oh, you haven't been eating any mushrooms today, hopefully.
Yeah, actually, yes, I did have some mushrooms. I had a nice healthy salad and with plenty of mushrooms. Okay, so
OMG, yeah. Get ready. The Fight Doctor has been on the magic mushrooms. You have been warned. Okay, so okay, Fight Doctor. So Joyce versus Dubois. What you feeling on that?
I think Joyce is gonna get knocked out. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay. Point blank, period. No messing around. AD says, I got Joyce late KO or unanimous decision. I think that Joyce is underrated, and I think that he's gonna show some things to some people this weekend. Of course, we're gonna be covering that. We're going to be covering that right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We're going to be covering that fight live, so keep it locked. 50-50 fight for me, later rounds. Yeah. Like I said, I think that Daniel Dubois could be the future, so I wish him well, and I hope he pulls it out. But I rate Joyce higher than many people do. I think the most. What we're saying there? Joyce, mushrooms are the best. AD says he loves the Fight Doctor, the pill, the magic mushrooms. Where we at? Fight
Excellent source of vitamin D.
Fight Doctor on the mushroom risotto. Okay, right. So let's get into you coming just a good time, Fight Doctor, because we're going into what Anthony Joshua said about Deontay Wilder. Okay, so let's get into that right about now. So it's the main topic. What's the clock saying? Okay, 1.5 hours. Okay, that's good. That's a good timing. Okay, so Anthony Joshua on Deontay Wilder. How he feels today might change it isn't coming across in the right way. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, he told the world, let me highlight this, he told the world that he ducked and dodged me. Britain's unified world heavyweight champion face it. Yep, okay, we know that. I'm serious about the WBC belt. Okay, so Anthony Joshua has questioned whether Deontay Wilder's reaction to defeat will ever make sense, but reiterated his rival was the reason they never met in the ring. Okay, so a tweet from Wilder to Tyson Fury saying, you know, I was offered more money to fight Joshua than I was getting to fight you. Again, again, being a man of my word, I fought you. That was seen by Anthony Joshua as an admission of why they never agreed an undisputed world heavyweight title clash. Okay, so the article goes on to say Wilder has mentioned his ring walk outfit, bicep injury, his disloyal trainer, and made unfounded allegations about Fury's gloves as the reason for his defeat. But Joshua believes his outlook may change eventually. What does that mean? May change eventually. Okay, those are the three combatants. Somebody wants to come in right there. I hear it.
So I think what he's saying is, what Joshua is saying regarding Wilder is that eventually Wilder will come to his senses and accept his loss. I think that's what he's trying to say.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Joshua is saying maybe he's just throwing like a little hissy fit right now, but the problem is he's such a public hissy fit that he's not going to be able to live this down, right? And you tend to wonder, like, has he been the one leaking these things to these media? Well, not me. These YouTube guys, or is it that they influence him? Either way, I think Joshua is just really saying at some point Wilder will just, stop with the nonsense and get back to work, and get back his career on the track. Either it's Tyson Fury or it's somebody else. So eventually, Deontay Wilder has to know that he's gonna have to stop this. The problem is that he's not. Like, I was quite surprised with the Brian Costa interview because he didn't walk back those comments at all. I expected him to kind of walk them back, but he's not walking back.
Yeah, he's not walking nothing back. If anything, he's doubling down on it. He ain't walking it back. It's kind of we'll break it down further. We'll break it down further at the end of the article. So let me continue with the article. Joshua says, I'm not surprised. Wilder's reaction to his defeat I'm not surprised about. Okay, so let's continue. It's poorly written. He's trying to express how he feels to the world. He has left it to us, the masses, to interpret how we feel is. You see, this is some poor writing right now. It's hard to read. Sentences don't flow whatsoever. Let's try again. How he feels today might change in a year or two due to experiences or more understanding of the situation that he has gone through. Okay. So yeah, how he feels today might change in a year or two when he has when he gets more experience, more knowledge of the situation, more understanding of the situation that he has gone through. Okay, so I think what Joshua was saying there is he's yet to come to terms, or is slowly coming to terms. He's still coming to terms with what happened. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. He was knocking everybody out and he got used to winning. Got used to a winning performance. He took a loss and he isn't used to it. Okay, so as time goes on, he may express himself differently. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Today, in my humble opinion, it isn't coming across, or he isn't coming across in the right way. Okay, so Joshua isn't really slating Wilder there. He's just saying he's finding it difficult to comprehend. It's difficult to comprehend and to come to terms with what happened. Let's have a look. The positive out of it, he told the world that he ducked and dodged me. OMG, that was a hook to the ribs. The positive that came out of it was that Wilder told the world that he ducked and dodged me. Joshua goes on to say, we offered him a fight for the undisputed championship of the world, and he went down the route of fighting Fury. OMG. Okay. I'm glad we can clear that up once and for all and move on. As time goes on, it will all come to fruition and make sense. What will come to fruition? What will come to fruition? Another poorly structured sentence there, I'm afraid. Wilder must dance to my tune. Damn, did he really say that? Wilder has announced his interest. Oh, that's a different article. Okay, we're not going to get into that. I think it's a different article. The road to AJ versus Fury. Okay, this is just okay. So yeah, that's the end of that. And the last word from Joshua was, as time goes on, it will all come to fruit. Everything will become clearer. Everything will become clearer. Just say that. Just say that. Just keep it clear. I'm glad we cleared that up and we can move on. We offered him a fight for the undisputed championship of the world, and he went down the route of fighting Fury. I think that's the key. That's the key phrase, the key sentence to all of this. Okay, so let's fight, doctor. Let's try and disseminate that. What say you, the fight doctor?
Well, you already know my thoughts. You know, if Deontay Wilder ducked Anthony Joshua, then Anthony Joshua ducked Deontay Wilder first, right? So you had a situation where Anthony Joshua is on camera naming his price, basically telling the Wilder side, if you come up with X amount of dollars, we have a fight. Wilder side comes up with the money, and then all of a sudden, he starts changing his tune. So, you know, I still believe that Team Joshua did not want to fight Deontay Wilder prior to the Fury fight for whatever reason. Maybe they were afraid that man was going to get knocked out, which I would have picked Wilder by knockout in that fight had it happened. But for whatever reason, they didn't really want to fight. So, you know, I was probably the best decision made for Anthony Joshua, because now he's in the driver's seat in terms of heavyweight division as far as being the money man is concerned. So it's probably smart on their part. You know, they did have the hiccup with Andy Ruiz. And, you know, I maintain that had that been Deontay Wilder standing across from Anthony Joshua instead of Andy Ruiz, he would have got put on his back. He would have got put to sleep, you know.
Who would have got put to sleep?
Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
He got put to sleep.
Okay.
No question.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to come in on there. The 50 million offer, which you mentioned, that was not the first offer. There were multiple offers made to Deontay Wilder from Joshua's side prior to that, which Deontay Wilder declined. The 50 million offer, we can go into that deeper in another show, but the 50 million offer was an Instagram offer with a 24-hour deadline. When Hearn wanted to have a meeting with Shelly Finkel to find out the details of the contract, Shelly Finkel declined. So we have a 50 million offer, which was an Instagram offer with a 24-hour deadline, and a Shelly Finkel, a manager, who declined to have a meeting to discuss the details of the offer. So that wasn't any kind of offer whatsoever. Now, your next point was that you feel that if it was Deontay Wilder standing opposite Anthony Joshua that night when Andy Ruiz fought him, then it would have been Wilder would have emerged victorious. Well, that's something we'll never know, because Wilder didn't accept any offers, including the 100 million offer from the Zone. Wilder declined that also. So
okay, so wait, we have to now. Wait, hold on. Now let's talk about the offer from the Zone.
I need to finish my sentence though. So
All right, go ahead, do your thing.
So what we have is multiple offers from the Joshua side declined by the Wilder side, and 150 million offer with a 24-hour deadline that wasn't actually declined. They said, well, can we meet and talk about it? And then it was the Wilder side who declined to meet and talk about it. So, you know, you can't really say Joshua declined an offer when he wanted to talk about it and they declined to talk about it. Over to, well, before I get back to you, I've got to go over to Iron Kong, because remember, there's 3 of us here today. Iron Kong, you want to come in on this and say your piece?
Man, look here. Deontay Wilder is a guy who, y'all got to remember, I was a Deontay Wilder fan, okay? Back then when Deontay Wilder was being made offers to from Anthony Joshua, I was screaming, take the money, take them, you could knock him out. Nothing was ever good enough for Deontay Wilder. It's slave wages, it's this, it's that. Slave wages when he never made that much money in his life. He could have gone and knocked this dude out, taking all his belts, right? So when people talk about $50 million, they want to forget all that. They forget I was a Deontay Wilder fan. I was one of these people who used to argue with AJ fans, all right, or whatever. Deontay Wilder is a dude who likes a lot of attention, and he got no better attention than Anthony Joshua making offers to him. He himself on Joe Rogan's show after the Tyson Fury fight said, they desperate to fight me. First off, he said, they're ducking me. Then he said, they desperate to fight me now, right? He was asked after, on the same night, I told you about this interview, Rafi, you should pull it up. The same night of the Dillian White Chisora fight, right? He was asked by Fight Hype, well, are you going to fight Joshua at Wembley next year, April? Or are you going to pick Tyson? He said, I still pick Tyson Fury, in the rematch. Even though Tyson Fury ducked him or whatever to sign with Top Rank, fight his 2 warm-up fights, he still said, I'm going to fight Tyson Fury. When he had the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua at Wembley, remember, him and Shelly Finkel were like, well, they don't have no venue. They don't have this. They don't have that. But they signed to fight Tyson Fury without a venue.
No date, no venue.
When Joshua had Wembley, nah, I don't want to fight you. I picked Tyson Fury. When he had that date open, that's why he went to Madison Square Garden, because he had nobody to fight, right?
That's right.
Deontay Wilder is a guy who just likes attention. He said again, he exposed himself that yes, he was offered more money for undisputed, no greater price than that, to go fight Tyson Fury, who he thought he could knock out this time, right? But it backfired on him. People got to stop this $50 million Deontay Wilder driving in a car. Oh, the money's in the car, mate. Don't be late, mate, or some foolishness. 24 hours and all this nonsense. But he got a meeting with the DAZN people, actually sat down to work out details. But Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn couldn't even get that for this mythical $50 million that Lou DiBella and Steven Espinoza wasn't even sure where the money was coming from, whether it's BT or Showtime. Weren't sure where the money was coming from. But Eddie Hearn was supposed to just take that money. Man, Deontay Wilder is a duck. Nobody want to hear that. Get out of here, man. Peace. Hey, I'm out, Rafi. My headphones are running down. Peace.
Okay, Iron Kong, much appreciation. That was Iron Kong. Go check him out. Much appreciation. It goes out to the Iron Kong. Okay, so Fight Doctor, come in.
Yeah, so everything you just heard was all nonsense. Now let me explain why.
Oh dear, no, it wasn't, but carry on.
Yeah, it was all nonsense. Now here's the reason why. Right, the offers that the Zone tenured to Deontay Wilder, none of those offers actually promised Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight. Okay, and that was the whole sticking point with the negotiations on the Wilder side. Like, look, we have no problem coming to fight on the Zone, but guarantee us the Joshua fight. Okay, the Zone couldn't do that. So if I'm Deontay Wilder, and you're asking me to come fight on your platform, but the whole reason for me to come fight over here is to fight Anthony Joshua, you can't guarantee me that fight, then what's the point of me coming and fighting on the Zone?
Well,
okay.
For a start, the money was coming from BT Sports, and it wasn't. The money couldn't come from BT Sports. It was just merely a hypothetical $50 million offer. because Joshua has had an exclusive contract, does have an exclusive contract in the UK with Sky Sports. BT Sports are a competitor. So BT Sports were asked by Frank Warren to make a hypothetical offer. How much could you offer Joshua? Remember, this is Frank Warren. So they came back with a figure of $50 million. It was a nonsense figure because Joshua couldn't fight on BT Sports. So it was just a hypothetical figure. Now, your point, you make a point that the DAZN offer didn't guarantee Deontay Wilder Joshua. But I say this. Well, who else would they have for him to fight for $40 million for 2 fights, equaling $80 million? Who else did DAZN have that Wilder could fight for $40 million? A fight, 2 fights equal $80 million. Who else do you think they had in mind? Canelo?
Oh, but listen, at the end of the day, if the whole point of me coming over to the zone is to fight Anthony Joshua, then if you're asking me to come over to your platform, but you can't guarantee me the Joshua fight, then what's the point of me coming over here, right?
Well, clearly Joshua was the guy. Clearly he was going to be fighting Joshua. Who else did they have? Who else did the zone have who they were prepared to pay a guy $80 million for 2 fights? Who else? Who else could it have been other than Joshua?
Well, then here's what you do, right? If the question is who else am I supposed to fight, then the answer to that question is nobody. Put Joshua's name in the contract and I'll sign it. But the zone didn't do that, right? Now, on the flip side, if you're Anthony Joshua and you want the fight to be made, then obviously you're going to try to work it out where, okay, this guy wants to come over to my turf, to my network and fight. Then, yeah, attach my name to the contract. Let's make it happen. But I didn't hear anything coming out of the Joshua camp. Nothing. Now, on the other end.
Well, hold on a second. Let me address that point while you say it in case we forget. Okay, so like I said before, who else was the zone going to offer him? And furthermore, I put it to you that point is redundant since Deontay Wilder himself says that he fought Fury for less money than he was being offered to fight Joshua. So that point is redundant because Deontay Wilder himself acknowledges what he acknowledges, which is that he received. He could have fought Joshua for more money. So if you don't know who was on the contract, then Deontay Wilder knows because he said it. Back to you.
My question is this. When did the zone ever offer Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight? When did that happen?
When they made the offer, and Deontay Wilder went and sat down with them. And Deontay Wilder said, because Deontay Wilder wanted clarification on the contract, and Deontay Wilder said, well, he wants to know how much Joshua is making, not Dillian White, not Canelo, nobody else. How much is Anthony Joshua making? So it is very, very clear that Deontay Wilder knew who he was going to be fighting and on the zone.
Well, I have a different recollection. As I recall, the sticking point from Team Wilder was that DAZN refused to add Anthony Joshua's name to the contract, which is the reason why Deontay Wilder never went over to DAZN. That reason alone.
Nonsense.
Now, that's how I recall.
Well, that's clearly nonsense, and Deontay Wilder himself disagrees with you because Deontay Wilder himself said they wouldn't tell us how much Joshua was making. Case closed. Deontay Wilder, if you don't know, that's fine. But Deontay Wilder knows because he said they wouldn't tell us how much Joshua is making, not how much Canelo is making.
Okay, so now I can answer that. Now, the reason why DAZN wouldn't tell Wilder how much Joshua was making is because they were not offering Deontay Wilder a Joshua fight. How can I, as the network, tell you, the fighter, how much your opponent is going to make if your opponent hasn't signed the contract? He's not a part of the contract. So, of course, they can't tell him how much Anthony Joshua is making because the contract that they were trying to sign him, lock him into, did not include an Anthony Joshua fight. So
well, Deontay Wilder disagrees with you because Deontay Wilder clearly stated that he turned down Joshua for more money to fight Fury for less money. So Deontay, I understand that you don't understand, but Deontay Wilder clearly understand because he clearly stated he could have fought Anthony Joshua and turned down Anthony Joshua to fight for more money to fight Fury for less money.
How can he turn on a fight he was never offered in the first place?
He was offered it and he walked away from the table.
Okay. Well, I have a different recollection. I recall clearly that the sticking point was that Wilder was never offered a Joshua fight from the zone, period.
Yeah,
that's the reason why. And Team Wilder got tired of the ducking and dodging coming from that side of the pond and decided Fury was calling his name and decided that he wanted to fight. And so then we got what we got.
Well, yeah.
Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua goes and gets knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Well, it's unfortunate that to this day you don't know who Deontay Wilder was offered the money to fight, 80 million to fight two-time. And well, since you don't know, let me reveal to you, there's the man you see in the middle of this picture here, and his name goes by the name of Anthony Olawafemi Olansi Joshua. So you don't know who he was gonna fight, but your guy there, Deontay, the bronze bomber Wilder, absolutely knew. He absolutely knew, and he said so. I turned down a bigger offer to fight Joshua, to fight you, Tyson Fury. So that is as plain as an admission of ducking that you will ever find. And the Browns plumber writes, Shirley Winkle confirmed 120 million offer, included 2 AJ fights, with the first fight in the USA. So yeah, that was clear. He was on interviews with I remember the interview with the boxing voice over there when Shelley Finkel went on, and he was very clear about the offer from Joshua. And he was on there more than one time. So it was very clear that the offer was to fight Joshua.
I would like to see the press, the articles, the whatever evidence.
Dig them up.
Okay. And I will do that.
Dig them up at your leisure. Let me go through some of these comments. The Dosser says, do anyone believe that Al Heyman hasn't got 50 million? Well, he got a half a billion. And apparently he burnt through the bulk of that. Yeah, it's unlikely that he's got 50 million. He got half a billion and burnt through it, most of it, allegedly. Okay, so where are we here? Where are we now? Let's get through some of these comments. This guy, what is this? Hearn and AJ ducked Wilder. The money was there. The money was hypothetical offer from BT Sports, who could not stage the fight. So that was hypothetical, and it was a 24-hour offer, and they would not meet to discuss the terms. Okay, so that was no offer whatsoever. Philip Carl Roberts says Wilder wanted 50-50, and that's why he wanted to know how much Joshua was getting. Yeah, none of your damn business, Wilder. You just tell what you're given or not. What we got here? Shirley Finkel confirmed the 120 offer, included 2 AJ fights. He certainly did. Wilder said he was offered more to fight Joshua than Fury. 100%. It's very, very clear. What's this here? Not true. AJ said, offer me 50 million and he would fight Wilder. Wilder offered 100 for 2 fights, and AJ and Hearn Still ducked. Well, Wilder didn't offer a damn thing. BT Sports had a hypothetical 50 million. They could not stage the fight because Joshua was and is exclusively signed to Sky Sports in the UK. So that was purely an hypothetical offer. Purely an hypothetical offer. What we got here? Let's carry on with the chat. Let's see. Who this? OMG. What's he been smoking? Well, I don't know. I think he ate some mushrooms, but I don't think he smoked the herb. He didn't smoke the magic mushroom. What's this going on? The White Masons own Joshua. Really? Have you got any receipts? Do you have the receipt? The Zone offered him a 2-fight deal. Yes. What's this? So AJ Wilder, so Fury had to go, and Polax. Well, AJ Wilder, don't be foolish, my friend. It was a hypothetical offer from BT Sports, who could not stage the fight because Joshua is exclusively signed to Sky Sports. It's a hypothetical offer, my friend. Hypothetical. Purely hypothetical. What's going on? Frank Warren explained the offer, and it was from BT. It was a con because they knew Joshua had an exclusive contract in the UK with Sky. Heyman did not make any offers. He would not do it on IG if he did. Okay, so Al Heyman does have 50 million, but not for Wilder, who isn't a PPV star. Finkel, Diaz, Heyman, all pimping Wilder. Ruiz showed AJ is useless. That's why Hearn turned down the Wilder fight. Oh my goodness. Madness. It's not the White Masons, it's the Bronze Plum. It's not the White Masons, it's the Bronze Plumbers who own JJ. OMG, I think AJ owns himself. Okay. So ultimately the fight, doctor. Ultimately, we have a situation where your guy there, Deontay Wilder, admitted that he could have fought AJ for more money, but declined that to fight Fury for less money. That's very clear and unambiguous, and it came from Deontay Wilder's own mouth. So if there's any ambiguity on your part in who was there an offer? Of course there was an offer. Your man there said it himself. Turned down an offer for more money to fight AJ, to fight Fury instead. That is very clear and unambiguous. The fight doctor, come in.
Yeah, so again, this whole talk of Team Wilder ducking Anthony Joshua. Joshua's a good fighter, right? But the Wilder prior to getting beaten by Tyson Fury, I think most folks would have picked Wilder to win that fight by knockout. In fact, I still think Wilder wins that fight by knockout, right? So I don't see the logic in thinking that somehow Wilder was being protected from Anthony Joshua when Wilder has arguably the toughest schedule, the best resume in all of the heavyweight division in terms of the quality of opposition he has faced.
Hold on a second. Did you just say that Deontay Wilder has a better resume than Anthony Joshua?
In terms of his overall quality of opposition, yes.
OMG. That is patently, well, how do I say to that? It's I think we've done this show before where we've gone through Deontay.
So listen, we can dissect this real quick I
haven't finished my sentence. As I was saying, we've gone through this before when we have looked over Deontay Wilder's utterly appalling and abysmal record. The first top 10 guy he fought was Bermain Stavern when he fought him for the championship. The only other top 10 guy Holy. The next top 10 guy he fought was Luis Ortiz. And then he ducked Joshua. By his own admission, he ducked Joshua to fight Tyson Fury, who had only just been put back into the top 10. So if you say 3 fights, 1 against Hearn, 1 against or 2 against Ortiz, and the 2 fights with if you say the Stavern and Ortiz, if you say Stavern and Ortiz are better wins than Povetkin, better wins than Vladimir Klitschko, then I'm afraid, my friend, I'm afraid that that is highly disputable.
No, that's not the argument that I'm making. The argument that I'm making is that his overall quality of opposition is better than Anthony Joshua's. At the end of the day, what is the better look? Okay, what is the better look? Getting knocked out by the best heavyweight in the world, or getting knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy? Okay,
well,
what is the better look?
Well, I mean,
because last I checked, Anthony Joshua's best win is a guy coming off a loss to Tyson Fury. That's his best win.
Well, that fight should be null and void because Tyson Fury tested positive for drugs in the previous fight, and he shouldn't have been in the Klitschko fight. So really, that's a highly disputed. It's a highly disputed fight. Should he have even?
No, sir.
Should he even have been in the ring? And so,
no, sir. What he did in the fight prior to?
I haven't finished. I mean, you had your chance to finish. I'll finish as well. And what I'm saying to you is that you cannot compare the wins over Stavern and the wins over Ortiz. Those are not in the same category as Anthony Joshua's wins over Vladimir Klitschko. Anthony's win over what's his name? Povetkin. What's another good win for Joshua? Yeah, I think those are his top wins. I mean, he got the. I'm not going to include Charles Martin, although Charles Martin, you could say, he's better than Stavern. Yeah, so the Charles Martin win is on par with Stavern. Yeah, that's fair.
Once again, you are making an argument that I am not making.
Well, what argument am I making? What argument am I making? You're talking about their best wins. I'm talking about the overall quality of opposition.
Well, that includes wins and losses. Wilder's overall quality of opposition is better than Anthony Joshua's, whose best win is a guy 41 years old coming off a loss in which he set a heavyweight record for the fewest punches thrown in a 12-round fight.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that overall, Anthony Joshua's opponents overall. I mean, in Deontay Wilder's 30 fight, I think he was fighting a light heavyweight guy, a cruiserweight guy. Anthony Joshua was it his 16th or his 18th fight when he won the world championship? Anthony Joshua has fought guys like Parker, Joseph Parker, and beat him. Alexander Povetkin. Charles Martin, who's on par with Stavern, and Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, you can't argue with that. That blows Deontay Wilder's record or his caliber of opponent out of the water. Deontay Wilder, his best opponent, he fought twice and he didn't win once. His best opponent.
Deontay Wilder's best opponent is the guy who beat the best name on Anthony Joshua's resume.
Well, Anthony Joshua beat the best name on Tyson Fury's resume.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now you're talking in circles, okay? Because he did that after the fact. Listen. Wait. This is your argument. Wait, sir. Hold on a second, sir. that argument, that is the most nonsensical argument that you can make. For the simple fact of the matter is, Anthony Joshua's best win. Anthony Joshua's best win.
Best win is
Anthony Joshua's best win. Okay, is the guy 41 years old coming off a loss to Tyson Fury. That's his best win. Right,
Anthony Joshua.
And guess what? And now listen, I'll take it a step further. His most notable fight, Anthony Joshua's most notable fight to date is getting knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy. Those are the two highlights of his career. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Anthony Joshua's most notorious fight is when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was in better physical and mental shape.
Nobody cared about Anthony Joshua beating a 41-year-old heavyweight coming off a year layoff and a loss.
Nobody cared, really. The sports writers cared. The public cared. Everybody was talking about it. So how you gonna say that nobody cared when it was?
Because nobody cared.
Headline news around the world. News around the world. Anthony Joshua fought and beat another guy that Deontay Wilder ducked in the form of Vladimir Klitschko.
Like I said, Anthony Joshua's two most notable fights are one, Tyson Fury leftovers, and two, losing to the Pillsbury Doughboy. And that is essentially his career.
Joshua has the best resume, hands down. I mean, do I need to pull up? It would be embarrassing for me to pull up Deontay Wilder's resume. It is appalling. It is disgraceful. It is a sham.
You know what it is also? It's also lacking a knockout loss to the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Well, if you don't fight nobody, if your best wins are a Stavern, and 50, well, okay, he was a 48-year-old at the time, a 48-year-old Ortiz. And Deontay Wilder is best known for losing to Tyson Fury. He's best known for losing to Tyson.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is better than anybody on Anthony Joshua's resume. Period of the story.
Well, hold on a second.
Tyson, period, point blank in the story. Now that's a fact. Now that's a fact. That is a fact.
Hold on a second. Because Tyson Fury was a cherry pick gone wrong, and I should get royalties for that because I'm the one who coined the term. I'm the one who coined the phrase, a cherry pick gone wrong. But that's besides the point. The fact
remains. Tyson Fury is better than anybody on Anthony Joshua's resume. Period. End of story.
You're singing a different tune now because when I was over there at the Boxing Voice and I was telling people that Tyson Fury is going to give your boy problems in the first fight. He was going to give him a mollywhopping. People laughed. You want to pull up the audio? Well,
what's that got to do? Wait. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China or the fact that your boy got knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy? Okay, what are you talking about?
I have not finished. So the perception is, the point is that the perception was that Tyson Fury coming straight from the crack house, the whore house, the beer house, the curry house. Tyson Fury was in no fit condition, and they were banking on that. But they bit off more than they could chew. And so Deontay Wilder accidentally fought potentially the best heavyweight out there. It was an accident. He didn't do it on purpose. They thought he was washed up.
Okay, so now you making excuses.
No.
And none of that. At the end of the day, none of those excuses even matter. Okay, they don't.
They bit off more than they could chew. Tyson Fury was in better condition, even though he wasn't in his best condition, and he gave Deontay Wilder hell in the first fight, and in the second fight, he just sunk his battleship. He just held him around the neck and dunked his head in water at will. So
okay, so then I go back and I ask the question: what is the better look? Getting knocked out by Tyson Fury or getting knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy? What's the better look there? Right?
Well, it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. People can act naive if they want to act naive. but Joshua was expecting Big Belly Miller. And when that fell through, obviously, he would have been somewhat deflated. There's circumstances around that. Whatever the circumstances around that fight were, is whatever they were. But the point is that he picked himself up, whether he got concussed in training beforehand or not. He picked himself up, dusted himself off, and got right back on the horse and brought home the victory. And with a style which could very well prolong his career because he added new wrinkles to his game, a new style to his game. He executed that new style, so he's a more complete boxer now. He's a better boxer now than he was before the Ruiz fight. So that's cool. That's cool. He got beat. He came back immediately, beat the guy who beat him, and boom, back online, back to business. And now he's gonna fight Pulev. And then all being well, it's straight to Fury. Now the question is, what does your boy Deontay Wilder do now? He's talking about fighting Dillian White.
So wait, no, here's the question, right? Here's the question. Here's the real question. Why? Why would anyone think Deontay Wilder would have to duck the same guy who gets knocked out in 6 rounds, 7 rounds by the Pillsbury Doughboy? Why would Deontay Wilder need to duck that guy?
Because he doesn't want to get knocked out. Because he doesn't want him to get knocked out.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, if that's how, if that's the math, the new math that you're working with, I'm not gonna argue with you, sir. Okay, maybe
Wilder doesn't want to get knocked out. Wilder knows what happens. Wilder knows what happens.
So maybe in your world, with the new math that you use, 2 + 2 = 5. And if that is how your math adds up, I'm not gonna argue with you. That's fine. You just balance your checkbook using your new math, right? And I'm going to deal with the math. I'm going to deal with the real math, right? But yeah,
the real math that
yes, the real mathematics.
Remember, you just said that Deontay Wilder has a better resume than Anthony Joshua. You said
that's not right. No, sir. No, sir.
What did you say?
I said Deontay Wilder has the better quality of opposition. There's a difference.
I'm sorry, my friend, but Bermain Stavern twice, Luis Ortiz twice. Who else is there? Yeah, that's it. Bermain Stavern, Luis Ortiz do not constitute a better resume. It's piss poor, as a matter of fact. Let's be honest, it's piss poor. Deontay Wilder has a piss poor resume. The only good names on his resume are Tyson Fury, and you can give Ortiz a nod. And no, that don't cut it. That don't cut it whatsoever.
And like I said before, the best name on Anthony Joshua's resume, and these are the facts, but the best name on his resume is a 41-year-old heavyweight coming off of a year-long layoff and a loss. That's the best name on his resume.
That Deontay Wilder ducked. Deontay Wilder ducked. Facts. Okay, let's get into some of the comments in the comment section. Pretty brutal. I'll read the nicer ones. Let's have a look. Wilder never fought any champion or any former champion. You can't compare AJ to Wilder. You can't compare Wilder's resume to AJ. It's simply absolutely not. It's ridiculous. AJ resume trumps all of the heavyweights resume. AJ has the best resume out there today.
This person doesn't have a clue, because Tyson Fury was indeed a champion and a former champion both times that Wilder fought him. So he doesn't have a clue.
Tyson Fury was a champion when Deontay Wilder fought him.
He was a former champion.
Yes,
he was a lineal heavyweight champion. So yes.
Well, if you want to say he's lineal by beating a guy that he shouldn't have been in the ring with because he failed his drug test in the previous fight, if you want to say that he's legit lineal there, then that's up to you. But I don't see that as legit lineal at all. when he, absolutely not. Absolutely
Well, sir, you don't see air either, and yet you breathe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a good comparison, though. Fury is better than AJ's best win, but he beat Wilder twice. How can you use him as a positive for Wilder? OMG, I'm not going to get into these comments. They're a little bit brutal. Ruiz is not bad, just fat. And the funny thing is, who do you think wins in a fight between Deontay Wilder and Andreas the Punch Ruiz? Fight doctor.
Ruiz gets put to sleep.
Pull up the resumes. Well, I'm not going to pull up the resumes today. I've pulled up the resumes many times before. Maybe that's a video. Maybe I just pull up an old video. Yeah. Pull up an old video, because how many times have we done this? How many times have we gone through how abysmal Deontay Wilder's record actually is? It's absolutely terrible. What I'll do is I'll pull that video up and I'll paste that video down in the comment section. The other comment section, not this comment section, not this chat section, but the comment section. I'll pull up a couple of videos and put them down there, because we've done it so many times before. It is ridiculous. Deontay Wilder's got a terrible resume. Very poor. Who's the best people? Who's his best wins? Deontay Wilder's best wins are Bermain Stavern and what's his name, Luis Ortiz. Whereas when you look at Anthony Joshua, Charles Martin is at least as good as Stavern. So you got Charles Martin, you got Parker, Joseph Parker, you have Alexander Povetkin, and you have Vladimir Klitschko. So he just buries. Those are wins, by the way. Berries. And okay, you got to put Andy Ruiz in there, because he won him. He lost and then he won back and won. So that's 5 top wins at the very least.
Wait. Stop. What were the odds on the first Ruiz fight? Okay, that's not a top win. I'm sorry, but no, that's not those odds were lopsided.
Of course, it's a top one, because Andreas the Punch Ruiz is still in the top 10. He's still in the top 10. He's still a top 10.
He was in the top 10. He was in the top 10 only by virtue of beating a guy who, no, sir.
Is Andreas the Punch Ruiz a legitimate top 10 boxer? Yes or no?
Listen, if Andy Ruiz is a top 10 heavyweight, that says more about the heavyweight division than it does about Andy Ruiz. Okay? Trust. All right?
I asked you the question was, is Andreas the Punch Ruiz a legit top 10 boxer right about now?
Listen, the heavyweight division has been weak for the last 15 years, essentially. Okay? It's been a weak division. Nothing has changed. So being a top 10 heavyweight is not saying much in this era. Okay? It's not.
It seems like you don't understand the question. Is Andreas the Punch a legit top 10 boxer right about now?
Listen, I would have no problem with somebody having Andy Ruiz in their list in the top 10 at heavyweight. But again, that speaks more about the deficiencies of the heavyweight division than it does about the skill set and the ability of Andy Ruiz, because I don't think very highly of Andy Ruiz. I don't.
And yet again, you avoid the question. Is Andreas the Punch Ruiz a top 10 fighter right about now?
I just told you. If you want to put him in the heavyweight division, if you want to put him in the top 10 at the heavyweight division, I have no problem with that. But that says more about the heavyweight division than it does about Andrew Ruiz.
Okay, so Andreas the Punch Ruiz is a legitimate top 10 boxer. So you have to say, well, that's a top win as well. That's a top 10 win. That's another legit top 10 win for Anthony Joshua. Whichever way
I'm sorry, but that is not
whichever way you got the cake. All that Wilder's got is Stavern, 1, and Ortiz. That's all he's got on his resume. That's his best wins. Stavern and Ruiz. Let that sink in. Let
Wait,
that
wait a
sink
minute.
in. Let
Wait
that
a minute.
sink in.
Wait. Hold on. Anthony Joshua's best win remains a 41-year-old heavyweight coming off of a loss, as well as a year-long layoff.
I'm talking about best wins, not best win. I'm saying that
Okay,
Deontay Wilder's best wins are Stavern 1 and Ortiz. Those are his best wins. And you're trying to tell me
Wait. Ortiz is undefeated. Okay?
What?
Ortiz is undefeated. And if I'm not mistaken, so was Stavern. Stavern was undefeated as well, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony Joshua's best win.
I don't know about Stavern. I think he had a loss, but carry on.
Neither here nor there. Fact is, both in the case of Luis Ortiz and Stavern, they were both not coming off of a loss. They were both not coming off of year-long layoffs. Okay, Anthony Joshua's best win remains a 41-year-old heavyweight coming off of a loss and a year-long layoff. Now, it's not that's not my opinion. Those are the facts, sir.
Anthony Joshua's best wins are I don't even want to include Charles Martin, but I'll include him only on the basis that you've got Stavern in there. So he's as good at Stavern. So you got the Charles Martin, you got the Joseph Parker, you got the Alexander Povetkin. You have so that's only 3. You have Vladimir Klitschko. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Martin, Parker, Povetkin, Klitschko. So you got at least. You know, so those guys trump anything. Those guys trump Wilder anyway. That's very simple and plain. Plus, Joshua did it way earlier. Did it in half the time as Wilder. So the acceleration. Plus, he got a gold medal. Wilder got the bronze medal. Come on now. Joshua hasn't even been boxing for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? He's just a baby. But yet, Wilder couldn't fight Klitschko because Wilder's just a baby. He's just a baby. Wilder's just a baby. So Anthony Joshua's best win was a guy that Wilder ducked. So there you have it. There you have it. People think that I tell you to lay off the mushrooms. Resume is all about depth. It's all about depth. Nope, Stavern had lost. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So if resume is all about depth, then Anthony Joshua's depth is in the kiddie pool.
In the kiddie pool. You must be crazy. Now you are simply
because, like I said, again, his best win, 41-year-old heavyweight.
Is the guy that Deontay Wilder ducked.
Wait, how do you duck Vladimir Klitschko to fight the guy who beat Vladimir Klitschko? How does that work?
Your boy did.
I mean, again, that is the new math that you're using. Once again, new math. Okay, because I don't understand how you duck a guy to go fight the guy who beat the guy that you allegedly ducked. 2 plus 2 equals 5, sir. Using your new math, but that's not the math that I'm dealing with. Sorry, but it's not. I'm using a different type of logic.
So the guy that Anthony Joshua's best win is the guy that Deontay Wilder ducked, or one of the guys that Deontay Wilder ducked. Hold on, let me just take care of something. There we go. Boom. So that's taken care of. Yeah. So Deontay Wilder's best win is the guy that Deontay Wilder ducked. People saying he's just an AJ hater. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know what I appreciate. Well, it's still a baby after 30 fights. Yeah, but what I appreciate about a fight doctor is that he comes and he's not afraid to grab the mic and say what he wants to say. So, as crazy as I think he may be, at least he's not afraid to grip the mic. Okay, fight.
Listen, can I address that? First of all, yeah, I am by no means a Anthony Joshua hater. I'm actually a big fan of Anthony Joshua. However, I am a boxing fan first, and I have to call it like I see it. And just like I can sit here and can be critical of Deontay Wilder, I can be critical of Tyson Fury. I can also be critical of Anthony Joshua because I'm a boxing fan first. Okay, and neither one of those guys are perfect. They all have their flaws. Now, right now, we're getting a good look at Deontay Wilder's flaws because he hasn't handled this loss very well with all the excuses and what have you. But no one has been calling me a Wilder hater when I point out the fact that Wilder has been crying like a baby ever since he lost. Okay, now I can be objective. If I can be objective about Deontay Wilder and the way that he's handled his loss, I can also be objective about Anthony Joshua and his best win. Okay, the quality of his opposition, which has been shit. Okay, and listen, if I can be objective about Deontay Wilder, then I can also be objective about Anthony Joshua. All right, and the quality of his opposition.
The quality of his opposition is superior to the quality of his opposition of Deontay Wilder and Tyson.
I disagree.
And Tyson Fury. I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua's resume is better than Deontay Wilder. I'm saying it's better than Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's in terms of depth. Tyson Fury has the best win, which is Vladimir Klitschko. But Anthony Joshua,
Tyson Fury. Wait, stop. Hold on a second. Wait. That's nonsense. Tyson Fury has 2 wins on his resume that are better than anything Anthony Joshua has been able to do in the whole of his career.
No, he only has one. No, he only has one.
Two wins.
He has one.
He has
Vladimir Klitschko.
Two.
Vladimir
Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. Both of those wins are better than anything Anthony Joshua has been able to do in the whole of his career. Period. End of story.
The Deontay Wilder win cannot be. It is disputed how much value that is beating a man who never beat nobody other than Luis Ortiz and remains.
Anthony Joshua has beaten nobody. What are you talking about? Who is that guy beating? He's beaten nobody. He's beaten a string of tomato cans and old men. Period. Vladimir Klitschko, old man. Alexander Povetkin, old man.
He beat Josh. He beat
Charles Martin, tomato can.
Joseph Parker. Charles Martin.
Joseph Parker, another tomato can. A stiff one at that. What are you talking about? Anthony Joshua has beaten nobody. Joseph Parker, the same guy who loses to Andy Ruiz, but just happened to win a beauty contest. Get out of here, man! Stop! No, sir. Anthony Joshua's resume is hot garbage, sir.
Well, if it's hot garbage, then it's better than both Wilder's and your boy there, Wilder and Fury's. Then
look, if you're going off who has the better wins, then you can make an argument that Anthony Joshua has better wins than Deontay Wilder. Now, I wouldn't necessarily support that argument, okay? But there's an argument to be made. But under no circumstances and in no sense of this reality, there's no logical argument to be made that Anthony Joshua has a better resume than Tyson Fury. No, sir. Well, listen, my response to that argument is stop smoking the crack. He beat the guy first, who's the best win on Anthony Joshua's resume. He beat that guy. Okay? Stop smoking the crack. That would be my response to that, okay?
Yo, the crack. I don't know about the crack, my friend. I mean,
crack. Stop smoking the crack.
Crack. Yo, crack is whack. Whitney Houston said it. Crack is whack. Okay, so we're pulling up the resume now. Just a quick one, because I mean, really and truly, we're going to 2.5 hours. I try to keep it to around 2 hours these days. Who has Fury beat? Other than it's Fury's best wins. Vladimir Klitschko, that's his best win. And then who's his second best win? Who's Fury's second best win?
Deontay Wilder, in my opinion.
Deontay Wilder. Who's Deontay Wilder's best win?
Deontay Wilder's best win is obviously Luis Ortiz.
I rest my case. Look at this now. Quick, we're doing a quick thing. Now look at the guys that Anthony Joshua.
All right, let's start from the top.
Hold on, it's a quick thing. We're talking Vladimir Klitschko. We're
Oh
talking
man,
about Carlos Takam.
tomato can.
We're talking about Joseph Parker.
Another tomato can.
We're talking about Alexander Povetkin.
An old man.
We're talking about Andreas the Ponce.
Do we even really need to go there with Andy Ruiz?
Okay.
Because that's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment. Look, if I were Anthony Joshua fan, I wouldn't even let Andy Ruiz's name come out of my mouth. Honestly, I would.
Andy Ruiz mops the floor with Deontay Wilder. I just thought I'd tell you that.
Andy Ruiz mops the floor at the taco joint where he works. Okay.
Wilder. Now we're going into Deontay Wilder now. I hope you're prepared for the embarrassment. You sure you want me to do this? You sure you want me to do this? You can ask me to stop. You can ask me to stop.
Excuse me. Listen. Listen. Deontay Wilder's resume is what it is. Now, if you want to say it's weak, I would look. Listen, I would tend to agree with you. Yes, it's weak. I agree. I would agree with you. We're going
through the list.
Anthony Joshua was known for knocking over tomato cans.
Absolutely not. He's done more. He's in half the time. In half the time, he's done more than Deontay. He's fought more.
Getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz is doing more. Really? Getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz is doing more.
Higher ranked opponent than the bronze bomber.
Yeah, getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz and getting put on his ass by Vladimir Klitschko, a 41-year-old heavyweight coming off a year-long layoff and a loss. That's what you consider doing more, really.
I think he was on his feet. So Bermain Stavern. Sorry, let me pronounce that right. Bermain Stavern. Gotta pronounce that right. So that's his first top 10 win. Bermain Stavern. Then we got the likes of Eric Molina, Juan Juapas, Arthur Spilker, some Euro bums, Chris Ariola, Gerald Washington, who gave him hell. Novice boxer gave him hell. Bermain Stavern again, shamefully. Bermain Stavern hadn't fought in something like 18 months, 2 years, and really did come in as Bermain Stavern. He disgracefully fought him. No self-respecting heavyweight would have fought Bermain Stavern, much less a heavyweight champion. Utterly disgraceful. Okay, Luis Ortiz, you got to give him that top 10 guy. Yes, fair enough. Tyson Fury, who was coming out of the beer house, the crack house, the whore house, the curry house, and then he goes from that to Dominic Breezel. Utterly disgraceful again. So he ducked Joshua to fight Fury. He ducked Dillian White to fight Breezel. And then what does he do? He fights Luis Ortiz again. Utterly disgraceful. When there's Joshua out there, there's White out there, and then he gets his ass thoroughly thrashed in front of the world.
So then I ask again, what is the better look? Getting knocked out by Tyson Fury or getting knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy? What's the better look?
Well, all you can say is that Anthony Joshua clearly has the deeper and better resume over Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua has a deeper resume than Tyson Fury. There ain't no doubt about it. Magic Caballel was also scheduled to fight Fury. He would have given him problems to Fury's defense since the 3 layoff. is overrated. Gave. Okay. That was a tough read there. PC Jacobs, tough read. Please show Wilder opposition rankings when Wilder fought them. Oh my God. Well, that would just open up a whole new can of worms. We know that Deontay Wilder's resume is poor. We know that Anthony Joshua has a deeper resume than Tyson Fury, fighting for half of the time of these guys. What is this? Dusser comes back and says Fury is the greatest heavyweight of all time. OMG. But you know something, folks? It's been animated. It's been very, very animated. Jesse Upman was a cruiserweight that died versus Wilder in Wilder's 22nd fight. By Joshua's 22nd fight, Joshua had 4 belts. I rest my case. It's been an animated discussion, animated chat. I don't like to keep these things running on forever. I like to make it at a duration where someone can sit down and watch it and listen to it from the beginning to the end. Yes, and that's chin check. Who's chin check? PC Jacobs. Who's chin check? So yeah, I like to keep these listenable to a listenable length. So people can listen to it in one go. And so I don't like to drag them out. And much appreciation to everybody who came over here today. I think it was an action-packed show. Much appreciation goes out to Iron Kong, who joined early on, and to the Fight Doctor, who always brings the crazy. And I appreciate that's not afraid to get on the mic and say what he wants to say. Yes. And much appreciation goes out to everybody who took time out of their day to come over here to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's open mic. Everybody gets a chance to speak and say their piece. Whether it sounds like madness to you and I, don't matter, so long as they come on and share their point of view. And also I've stepped up with the videos. I'm always on the live show, but stepped up with the videos again. Go onto the channel and check out the videos. There's some good stuff. There's some fun stuff. There's some imaginative stuff. It's all there for you. And okay, so Fight Doctor, your final word. First of all, thank you for coming on and sharing your views. Even though I disagree with pretty much everything you say, but still appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and have your final words, Fight Doctor.
Thank you, Rafi, for having me, and shout out to the listening audience. I will say that the Anthony Joshua fans must love pasta because because of the way that their man likes to knock over tomato cans. Okay. So you gotta do something with all that tomato sauce and all those tomato cans that their guy likes to knock over. Okay. So listen, I'll tell you what, it makes for good theater. Okay. Listen, there have been a number of fighters of late who have made a lot of coin and good careers off of knocking over tomato cans. Like, for instance, Gennady Golovkin, okay? Spent his whole career knocking over tomato cans. And the first time he gets in the ring with somebody, what happens? He fell apart, okay? And then he gets in the ring with somebody a second time. What happens? He falls apart again, okay?
Who's this?
So, well, the first time he got into the ring with somebody was a Danny Jacobs fight, and he fell apart. Oh, yeah. All right? Okay. And up until that point, he'd been knocking out everybody. But everybody he had been knocking out were nothing but tomato cans. So he gets in the ring with somebody who isn't a tomato can, and what happens? All of a sudden, he looks beatable, right? So then he gets in the ring the second time with somebody who isn't a tomato can, and what happens? He gets a draw in a fight where he looked ordinary. And then the third time he gets in the ring with somebody who is Alvarez in the rematch, and what happens? He loses, right? And so, we've seen this before. Now, not to say that Anthony Joshua isn't a good fighter, right? But
it's twice the fight to your guys.
But when we saw him get in the ring with somebody for the first time, what was that? That was the Vladimir Klitschko fight, and he looked less than stellar in that fight. Can we agree? All right.
Well, you're finishing off. It's your final words, so it ain't no debate. It's your final words.
Well, he looked less than stellar in that fight. As I recall, he was gassed by the 5th round, got dropped. Okay, Klitschko was outboxing him in spurts, and he caught up with Klitschko in the 11th round and knocked him out. But before that, Klitschko was having his way. Okay, and Klitschko, so then
the same guy that your guy Deontay Wilder ducked. Klitschko, that guy, is that Klitschko? That Klitschko?
Look, if you want to make that argument, listen, maybe Deontay Wilder did duck Klitschko. I don't know, but what I do know is that he fought the guy who beat Klitschko. So that's not that you're really not making much of an argument.
He got beat by the guy who beat Klitschko.
I thought he earned a draw with him in the first fight.
I thought he got his ass kicked in the second fight.
Well, okay, but he got the draw, right? So how do you duck a guy? But you go fight the guy who beat the guy that you supposedly ducked? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, but I mean,
so he fought the guy whilst ducking Joshua. That doesn't make any sense either, but he did it.
Well, whatever. All right, listen. Here's what I do know, right? Here's what I do know is that when we've seen Joshua get in the ring with somebody, he looks ordinary, or he has looked ordinary. He looked ordinary in the Klitschko fight. He definitely looked ordinary in the first Ruiz fight. Okay.
So Anthony Joshua, who urinates all over Deontay Wilder's resume. You're saying that he's a lesser fighter than Deontay Wilder, the bronze ducker.
What I'm saying is, had that fight been made, Deontay Wilder would have knocked Anthony Joshua out, and I still maintain.
Why didn't you do it then? Why didn't you do it then?
Your boy didn't want to fight. Just that simple. Your boy didn't want to fight. Listen, the British heavyweight.
Those are the final words from the fight doctor. The fight doctor. Listen, there's this tune. Can I play with madness? And I can only do it for a certain period of time. And then I have to say, fight doctor, it's been a pleasure having you on. And we speak again very, very soon. You're always welcome. I know you'll be around. I know you'll be around when Rick Glazer comes around on Wednesday.
Indeed, to be continued.
To be continued. And that was the fight doctor. Crazy guy, but he's not afraid to come over. And Deontay Wilder ducked 100 reasons. 100 million reasons. Yeah, he ducked 100 million reasons. He had every reason to fight him. He had 100 million reasons to fight him, and he ducked it to fight Tyson Fury. He could have made one. He could have made what he fought. He could have made what he made in 2 Fury fights. He could have made that in 1 Joshua fight, but yet he chose to run away. I shouldn't say run away, walk away, drive away, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. However you want to call it. Polaxed. OMG. Okay. So it was a great show, very entertaining, highly entertaining. Thank you for everyone who came on, the Iron Kong, the Fight Doctor, and for everybody who showed up and participated. Much appreciation. It's the Rafael Door. So, yeah, we're back on Wednesday for Ask Rick. And then second half of that show, we're going to open it up. And then, of course, Fridays, might do a Friday. But for sure, we're going to do a Saturday and cover the Daniel Dubois fight. All about dunking. OMG. Okay. So so that is it. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the Have Your Say, it's the go check out the videos, pumping out the videos again, go check them out. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and of course it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated to updated with news and notifications. Okay, so with all of that, thank you to everybody everywhere. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio, and we are out. Blessed.